welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we're doing something a little bit different on Iracing. Decided that it's time to just get me oval license. Not something I'm used to doing on any game is oval racing. We had a couple of races before this where we had qualified really well. This was the race that eventually got us our oval license, just the D class, because I've not bothered with any racing. I think we had 3 races before this one, and we got it on our 4th one. The other 3 races went reasonably well. We had got pole in a couple of the other ones, 2 out of the 3 of the other ones, but this one I messed up my lap. We went a little bit too sharp into one of the long corners, and it started to understeer, and it just scrubbed so much speed off it. I ended up about 2 attempts off of what I should have really got. If I would have matched the laps I'd been getting before, I would have probably got pole, but as it was, we're starting in 8th place in this race. And I'm actually quite surprised how much I enjoy these oval racings. I'm not going to take it too serious because I still prefer proper track racing. You know, it's not the best, it's not the most demanding thing going around an oval, but what it is very demanding is in terms of the intensity of the racing. It's just, you've got to be looking around you and so aware of things when you're doing these oval racings, and it's a different type of skill. I'm reasonably happy with how I'm going so far with in terms of my ability on it. I don't expect to be that brilliant at this, but I think anyone who's reasonably good at racing games should be able to get used to it reasonably well, because it's just about racing awareness and racecraft. It's still got a lot of that in it. So you can see there that the safety car's pulled off. What I was doing, I was paying note of the leader. I was trying to watch that, and I got a really good go straight away, but then I got blocked off at the start, and nowhere I could really go. So again, I went to go wide here. Thought I might be able to go wide round and run the high route round the top, but he kind of covered that. So I went down the inside. You can see there we've got the rear view camera replay from the top left, and the TV helicopter camera on the top right. I had to record it all through the replay because I didn't start recording through the NVIDIA GeForce experience before the race started, so I had to do it all through the replay. So you can see now we've got the cameras there showing you everything that's going on, so you're not missing out on what's happening behind us and in the mirror. It's a great race this, really enjoyable, some very good crashes. One of the main reasons I've ever watched an oval race in the past is because of the crashes. I haven't watched many, maybe 1 or 2 in my life, and that's all I've ever watched. Not really a massive interest in the sport, but I really enjoyed this race, and I will be doing more of these just for fun mainly. I'm not going to be too concerned about the I rating or the safety rating. It's just going to be about having fun. You know, still racing clean obviously, but I'm not going to be that annoyed if I don't win races and stuff or do well in them. This is more about a bit of a relaxing session on it after, you know, road racing, when you want to make sure you're doing well in them. So you can see now we're just trying to stay in some slipstreams at this point, seeing if we can close in on them leaders. I knew I had the speed in terms of on my own to be at that front, but it's not always the best place to be at the start. Is at the front. I've worked out pretty fast. It's if you can hold that position, it's okay, but it's not the easiest thing to do when someone gets a strong slipstream, especially when there's 2 or 3 cars giving them the slipstream. So you can see now there's quite a few of us in a very close space. Just look at that top right view there. There's 6 cars in a very close range there, going over the line and starting another lap, and it's just so intense. You've got to be aware of everything, because even going into the fast corner like this, I'd normally take this flat, no problem, come from a wider angle slightly, go down low to the white line and get as much speed as we can, but you just can't do it when you've got cars that close. You see we're nearly 3 wide at this point, and you just got to be careful on the throttle, because the back end can go loose on some of these really fast corners, especially this one later on in the race when the tyres are wearing out. The back end can start going a little bit loose because the tyres are wearing out, and we've managed to gain a few places there at that point. You can see we've put ourselves back up for, I think we ended up about 10th off the start because of the mistake, not necessarily a mistake, but where the slipstreamings put us after the start. So we went from like 8th to 10th, but then you can see now I think we're in about 6th place at this point, and we've got a few cars ahead of us, and we're going to try and get in the slipstream with the car in front of us there, that red car, but then he's gone over to the right, and I can't really do anything because I've got that white. I didn't know exactly where that white car was. I knew he was to me right. Obviously the spotter's telling you he's to your right, and he's still there, and you can see in the top right he's just about there, but we've just got a bit of clear now, so I know I can go a little bit higher and attack this a little bit better this bend. So I go into the middle, we're we're going to try and attack this corner. I like to go from the middle and then hug the white line as much as possible. I don't really know any techniques in terms of oval racing. I just did it through feel and what I was just getting off the delta, and getting close to that white line on the left just seemed to give me the best times around the track. So we're back in the slipstream, and we've managed to get ourselves quite a good run here now, closing in on the leading pack, and that's where I wanted to be, just closing in on them. And you can see there's some amazing little action in this race. You've got some big crashes to watch out for, so just pay attention when you're watching this. Have a little look in that top right camera and the rear view one, just to watch what happens. So going around this long left-hander now, you can see we've got fourth, I think we're in 5th place now, and we've got a massive slipstream, but there's massive contact and the car is flying in. At this moment I just panicked because I thought that was going to be race over, but I managed to just turn and keep the throttle buried, and I got away with it, and I actually managed to gain a lot on the leaders because I think they lifted a fair bit. I just put my foot flat to the floor and got away with that big time. You can see I've got a car right behind me in that top left camera there, and we're actually in about 2nd, 3rd place, but looking good now to get towards the front of the pack. The car behind me is looking on the top there to go high and go around me. I had to lift off here though massively. I think the car in front got a little bit of sliding on the rear tyres, and again he got it on the exit, which meant he had to lift off, so I had to lift off them because there's nowhere to go. I couldn't go up high because there was a car there. And you can see now there's 5 of us battling for this lead of this race, and a really intense battle this. And you can see there that car, he lost the back, and that is a corner that once your tyres go, if you build too much heat in them or something, you can really cause you issues through that long fast corner. So going over line, 3rd place, we've got the white car on the back, the top high side in 4th, and it's not a bad place to be around there. I've worked out that you can gain a lot of speed if you're in a slipstream and get a massive pull onto the straight. But my aim now was to try and get in the lead and do what I was doing in some of the other races that I'd won. I was getting in the lead and then just hugging the inside as much as I could, just staying low all the way around the track, and it was working really well in every lobby I'd been in. They just couldn't seem to get past me. The only issue was on the last few laps, trying to stay low is so hard. You're just twitching all the way. I found that just always moving the steering wheel slightly tended to give me some grip through the corners when the tyres would go. And you can see there on that top left hand camera, he's right behind us there, going to the right hand side. And he's going to try and go wide there, but I know at this point now that I'm in the lead, this is what I'm going to do, is just stay reasonably middle-ish and then get to that white line and try and hug it as much as I can. At this point the tyres are starting to go a little bit loose on the rear end, so you've just got to control it. And he actually gave me a little tap there, if you looked in the top left hand camera, a little tap on the rear, and we just about got away with that. We managed to hold it and keep the throttle buried in, and we didn't really lose any time. So he's going high there, we're going to stay low, like I was saying. I stay low to this left hand line, I try and get that left hand tyre basically on that white line all the way around the corner, and it seems to give me a pull. If you look at that top right hand camera, it seems to give me a reasonably good pull out of the corner. That's how I'd worked it out in other races. It seemed to work for me. I'm obviously not experienced in oval racing, so it's probably not the best way to do it, but it was working for me, so I was just doing it. And again, staying low as I could, just to try and defend that position. I always wanted to stay to the left, because I know if they've got to go the high route round, and if they've got a slipstream carrying that extra speed up high, it can be very risky with that wall. You've just got to be so careful as well. Obviously if you're going low on the left and you get a bit of slip on the rear, you've still got the track to the right that you can try and save the rear end. So that's how I was playing it, and that's what I was going for. So just trying to concentrate now in the lead, just keep it smooth. This is the main corner that was really giving me issues, was this final corner now. You can see how I'm constantly working at the steering just to stop that rear end sliding. It was actually sliding, I was just constantly trying to correct it and keep the throttle buried as hard as it could, just so we don't lose any time and they can get a run out you round going high on this corner now. So we're still in the lead. I think we're coming up to over halfway now. It must be at about lap 12 or 13. Only a 20 lap race. This is the default setup series. There's no setup changes that can be made other than I think you make slight alterations to the steering so that it's obviously pulling one way more than the other way, like they do in NASCAR, etc. So again, if you looked and seen the smoke coming off the tyres there, the tyres were getting very loose on that corner then, and we were very close to losing it, but we're still in the lead. The black car behind me now has got quite a big, he had a big slipstream. He elected to go high. I would have personally stayed low, but he'd gone back low there. I thought he was going to stay low behind me at that point and just get a massive draft coming out of this corner, but he chose to go high. Unless he couldn't hold the low line with the tyres, it is possible. You know, it's not the easiest thing I found to do, but again, we're just concentrating on trying to keep it in the lead. It's probably one of the hardest things you can do from what I've experienced in this oval race, is when you're in the lead to actually keep it there, because the amount of slipstream they get off you. Obviously I don't think this is as much as probably the NASCAR, the faster cars and such in terms of slipstream, but it's still worth a fair bit. And going around this long left again, this is where you can see starting to get a little bit of struggling with the rear end. Even on that first corner you see it, nearly lost it there, managed to correct it, didn't lose too much time, but you can see I'm working at that steering wheel constantly, and it's just a really fun battle this. I was actually really surprised how much I've enjoyed doing some of these oval racing, because I wasn't even going to bother, but I thought, whilst I've not got much content and there was only MX5 races this week, I thought I'll get onto the oval and see what I can do and just have a little bit of fun. And it is so intense, a lot more intense than I thought it would be, especially when you're in the lead and you've got cars to your right and then you're 3 wide. You've just got to always have your wits about you and be aware of every situation that can happen. So now again, I'm staying to the middle of the track because he's gone high, and I've got the blue and red car behind me there following me going low. We've also got another car joining the battle now again to make it a 4-car battle for the lead there. You can see he's managed to get the slipstream and it's homing in on us now. So I don't think we've got many laps to go now. As I remember now at this point, tyres were starting to really go. I was just trying to hold on to the tight line. It was getting harder and harder every lap. You can see there we nearly lost it there, and we've massive rear nearly went on me at that corner. Managed to save it just about and just about get over to that left hand side. It was still saying it was clear, so I knew I just about had space to get over. You've seen us cut across the guy in second place and take that inside line again. You can see me working the steering wheel. I'm constantly trying to correct that rear end, and we're managing to just about save it and stay to that left hand side. So I think this is coming up to the second to last lap, or the actual last. This might actually be the last lap. I'm not too sure because we haven't got the full footage from when it was actually happening there where it show you the white flag, but I'm pretty sure this could be the last lap as we have a little bit of contact, and it looks like he runs wide. This might actually be the second to last lap, because yeah, it will be, because I know what happened on the last lap going into that corner there. So this is the last lap coming up in a minute, and this is trying to just keep it clean around this corner now, and the back end is starting to go. I can feel it going looser and looser every time, and we nearly hit the wall there. You can see we just about saved it, got away with that there. And again, going into this tight, this is where it was getting really tricky. You're going to see me working at it, and I think I actually turned a little bit too early there and then I lost the back end slightly, had to correct it, and again had to correct it, and again it was so close, and then we scraped the wall, but I just kept my foot down. I didn't want to just lift that all, because I knew if I lifted I'd be losing a lot of time, so we kept our foot down even with that hits the wall. Didn't know what damage, if any, I'd have, and I just thought I'm going to go high and just keep my foot planted as much as I can around this outside and stay with him, and I think I managed to just about do it there, and we got a nice pull out of corner. So again, the only way I was going to get back in the lead was by just going maximum attack and going high on this corner and hoping he was going to have some issues going low. I knew how hard going low was, but I also know how hard it is to stay going high when you've got the tyres going. You can see in that top right hand corner we're keeping our foot buried, and we got a nice pull out of that corner, and we're getting back into the lead just about there. I was just hoping it to say clear. As soon as it said clear, I ducked into the left hand side and took the low line and just lifted a little bit here just to make sure I don't lose the back end. And you can see now he's losing his back end, he corrects it, and he's had a massive accident there. If you look in the mirror, he even took out the guy in fourth, so it was just myself and the other guy that got over the line, and I took the win for a nice win and a great battle there on this track. I'm going to leave you guys with a little replay from that last corner there, showing you the mayhem that happened after that. Hope you enjoyed this little race, and I'll look forward to bringing you more oval racing in the future. Thanks again guys, and make sure you hit that like button if you've enjoyed this race, and click that subscribe button. Thanks again.